Chosen ones, a tall man is on his way. And this is not just a random event. It's a sign, a shift, a message sent straight from the higher realms. You weren't scrolling, you were summoned. Because someone is coming into your life. And this isn't just any man. This is someone sent. You've been in a season of silence, a wilderness. God has hidden you, not to forget you, but to prepare you. You've been wondering why doors haven't opened, why relationships keep falling through, why people can't seem to hold on to you. It's not rejection, it's redirection. You've been kept apart because what's coming is sacred. A tall man, spiritually tall before anything else. His physical presence might turn heads, but it's his spiritual weight that's going to move mountains for you. He's not just a partner, he's an assignment, a protector, a builder, and he's been molded in fire, just like you. Comment 777 if your spirit is already bearing witness to this. That number is no accident. It's a seal, a confirmation that you're not imagining this shift. This isn't about romance, as the world defines it. This is about alignment, legacy, a union that multiplies purpose. Because when God sends someone, He doesn't send them to complete you. He sends them to collaborate with you, to walk beside you, not in front of you, to build with you, not above you. And yes, you've seen counterfeits, men who spoke the right words but didn't carry the right spirit. Men who noticed your beauty, but not your burden. That wasn't your man. That was your mirror sent to show you what you'd outgrown. So don't mourn the past. Don't reread the chapter God already closed. There's nothing for you in what didn't stay. Chosen one, your love life hasn't been delayed. It's been protected. That tall man is being positioned now. You're not waiting on him, he's being released to you. And when he comes, it won't be confusing. The timing will make sense. The connection will be instant, but not rushed. It'll feel like recognition, not discovery. Because your souls already know each other. You've met before in prayer, in dreams, in spiritual warfare. This is what happens when purpose meets preparation. This is what it looks like when the heavens say, now. Like this video, if this word is for you, if it confirms what you felt but couldn't explain, and subscribe not to follow numbers, but to walk with thousands of other chosen souls who are awakening to their destiny right alongside you. You've outgrown shallow connections. Your spirit craves depth, and God heard that. He's sending someone who speaks the language of your soul, not just fluently but faithfully. This tall man will not just admire your light, he'll protect it. He won't compete with your calling, he'll cover it. He won't question your fire, he'll feed it. He won't shrink in your brilliance, he'll rise with it. Comment 777. Again, if you're ready to receive this kind of presence. Because it's not just about being ready. It's about recognizing what you prayed for when it finally arrives. Don't miss him by looking for the old. Don't dismiss him, because he doesn't come wrapped in what you're used to. New levels come with new templates, and this one you've never seen before. But he's coming, and when he enters, everything will shift. Not because he saves you, but because he sees you, fully, without flinching. The enemy tried to break you before he arrived, because hell knows what happens when you finally lock arms with someone who's carrying the same anointing. It's not about cute Instagram captions. It's about divine power, about impact, about becoming unstoppable together. You've done the inner work. You've broken the cycles. You've healed in silence. Now God is sending the one who was doing the same. This man has scars too, but they're not open wounds, they're healed testimonies. You'll know him by the peace he brings, by the clarity he carries, by the way your discernment stays sharp, not silenced. Because when it's God, it aligns with his word, not just your wants. Subscribe now to walk with the ones who've chosen the higher road, the chosen ones who understand that love is not just a feeling, it's a frequency, and you're finally vibrating on the level you were always meant to. This is not the time to doubt. This is the time to prepare. Clean your heart, clear your space, raise your standards. The tall man is not just tall in stature, he's tall in calling. And if you're not ready, you'll mistake him for a challenge instead of a chapter. And when he comes, he won't come to play games. He'll come to stay. He'll come with stability. He'll come with vision. And he'll speak in action, not just affection. That's how you'll know it's him. Comment 777 if you're ready for the kind of love that feels like confirmation, not confusion. If you've already commented, you don't need to do it again. Just breathe that in. Let your spirit agree with it. Because what's coming isn't just for companionship. It's for destiny, for purpose, for divine acceleration. This man has also been through warfare. He's battled demons you'll never have to face. He's fought to stay aligned so he wouldn't miss you. He's been misjudged, misused. But now he's healed, and that healing is what qualifies him to hold space for you. God didn't forget about your heart. He just refused to waste it. He's sending someone who doesn't just understand your light, they're made from the same flame. Someone who won't need to be convinced of your value. He'll recognize it because he's carried his own. This tall man has been anointed for this connection, and when the two of you meet, it will feel like prophecy fulfilled. Let that sink in. Stay in alignment, stay in faith, and stay ready. The tall man is on his way. He's closer than you think, not because you're rushing, not because you're desperate, but because the timing is ripe. The alignment is exact. Heaven has been orchestrating this behind the veil, and now the veil is thinning. You'll feel it before you see it. Your spirit will grow quieter. Your distractions will lose their grip. The noise of loneliness will turn into the music of preparation. God doesn't send answers into chaos. He waits for order. And right now, your soul is stepping into that order. You've said goodbye to what no longer serves. You've released who couldn't stay. You've outgrown what once held your attention. That was all part of the plan. Every separation was sacred. Every delay was divine. Because the man who's coming doesn't belong in your past, he belongs in your future. The tall man carries presence, not ego, not control, but stillness, authority. When he walks into the room, you won't feel tension, you'll feel peace. That's how you'll know. He won't be threatened by your fire, he'll be ignited by it. He won't shrink your voice, he'll amplify it. He won't worship your potential, he'll partner with your purpose. And this love, it's going to look different. You won't need to chase, you won't need to explain, you won't need to prove. Because the one who's meant for you will never ask you to prove what God has already confirmed. This is a man who's not intimidated by your healing. He's done his own. He's met his demons and told them where they belong. He's walked through his wilderness, and now he's walking toward you. But be clear, this isn't about romance. It's about restoration. God is restoring the order of kingdom alignment. He's bringing back balance, masculine and feminine, strength and nurture, vision and voice too becoming one, not just in body, but in assignment. And some people won't understand it. They'll call it luck. They'll call it too fast. But they didn't see the process. They didn't witness the pruning. They weren't there during the breakdown, so they can't comprehend the breakthrough. Comment 777 if your spirit is confirming this word again. That number carries weight. It's not for everyone. It's for the ones who know their time has come. And when this man shows up, don't flinch. Don't question if you're ready. You are. Everything you've survived proves it. Every silent prayer, every night you cried alone, every time you got back up when it made no sense, that was preparation. You didn't go through all that to settle. You went through that to stand. This love is going to be solid, grounded, rooted in God. And because of that, it will feel simple. Not because it lacks depth, but because it lacks confusion. God is not the author of confusion. He's the architect of clarity. The tall man coming to you, he's not showing up for entertainment. He's coming with structure, with intentionality, with covering. He doesn't just want to love you. He wants to lead with you. He wants to labor with you. He wants to lift with you. And no, he won't be perfect. He won't arrive with glowing wings or flawless speech. But his spirit will carry the evidence. You'll hear it in his prayers. You'll feel it in his presence. You'll see it in his eyes, eyes that have seen war and chosen peace. Eyes that don't wander because they've already found what they've been searching for. You. Like this video, if something inside you just clicked. Not just your heart, but your knowing. And subscribe. Not to follow a number, but to walk with thousands of other chosen ones, souls who felt misunderstood, who've been isolated, who've been rejected until now. You're not alone. You never were. You were hidden. And now, you're being revealed. So is he. The tall man, he's been hidden too. Not because he was lost, but because God was working on him in private. And now, he's ready to be seen by you. Your relationship won't be built on trauma. It'll be built on truth. Not on pressure, but on purpose. Not on performance, but on presence. You won't be drained. You'll be poured into. You won't be confused. You'll be confirmed. You won't be controlled. You'll be covered. This isn't a love that takes from you. It's one that protects what God is doing in you. Comment 777. One last time if your spirit bears witness, and you've already commented before. This is your agreement, your activation, your amen. Because what's coming next is going to make you forget why you ever doubted. You'll stop looking for signs, because the man himself will be the sign. You'll stop rehearsing your pain, because his presence will speak healing without saying a word. And no, he won't complete you because you are already whole. He'll complement you. He'll mirror what God has been refining in you all along. Get ready. Clean the altar. Make room, because a tall man is on his way. And when he arrives, you'll never have to question if it's him. You'll just know, because real doesn't need convincing. He won't come to disrupt your peace. He'll come to join it, to expand it, to protect it. He won't make promises just to keep you around. He'll make plans, real plans, to build something that honors both of your callings, because he's not looking for something casual. He's been through too much to play games. This tall man is stepping into your life not for a season, but for an assignment. You've prayed for a man who walks with God. What's coming is a man who times listens, times to him. And when he speaks, it will sound like alignment. It will sound like vision. It will sound like time's home. Asterisk. You won't have to decipher mixed signals. You won't have to lower your voice to keep his pride comfortable. He'll celebrate your strength because he's confident in his own. This is a man who doesn't need to dominate to feel powerful. He's discovered that his real strength was born in surrender, in kneeling before God so he could stand beside you. And chosen one, you didn't miss him. You didn't mess it up. You didn't fall too far. You didn't wait too long. The enemy wants you to believe you're too late, but God's timing is still perfect. Always has been. Always will be. You are times right on schedule. Asterisk. All the times you thought you were being delayed, you were being protected. Because God wasn't just preparing the man, He was also preparing the moment. And when the moment comes, it won't need to announce itself. He'll come in stillness. He'll come in strength. He'll come when your heart has finally quieted enough to recognize Him. He won't bring chaos. He won't stir confusion. He won't need a stage. He'll carry time's confirmation times in His character. This man will know how to sit with your silence. He'll see what you don't say. He'll honor what the world tried to shame, because he's walked through his own fire, and now he's fireproof, not because he's untouched, but because he's been refined. This is a man who's been told times no times by the world, but times, yes, times by God. A man who's been rejected, not because he was unworthy, but because he was being reserved. For you, like this video, if your spirit is sitting up straighter now. Because what I'm saying isn't just words, it's time's recognition. Asterisk. Your soul knows this is real. And that's why you've stayed this long. Subscribe now, not for vanity, not for numbers, but because this is where the ones like you gather. The ones who feel everything deeply, who walk alone not because they want to, but because shallow can't hold them. This is your tribe, and when He shows up, don't shrink, don't second guess, don't fumble the blessing, because you're still carrying wounds from the last man who wasn't him. This man will not trigger your trauma. He will be proof that you've healed. He won't run from your complexity, he'll honor your layers. He won't just want access to your body, he'll carry a calling that matches your soul. And I know some of you have given up hope. You've whispered prayers with shaky faith. You've watched the clock and felt forgotten. But I'm telling you, times you are not forgotten. Asterisk, God's timing isn't slow. It's precise. And what you thought was a delay was actually a divine setup. Because when this man arrives, he's not just coming into your life. He's coming to change it. He's not looking for a woman to fix. He's looking for a woman whose time's already on fire. Asterisk. A woman who isn't begging to be seen, but time's called to be honored. Asterisk. And He will honor you. Not because you're perfect, not because you're easy, but because you are times exactly what He prayed for. Asterisk. Comment 777. One final time. If your spirit just confirmed it again, don't do it to follow a trend. Do it as a mark of agreement. Heaven listens when you align with what's true. You've carried the weight alone for long enough. You've been strong alone for long enough. You've held yourself up when no one showed up for you. And that's why now God is sending someone who will. Someone who doesn't just want you. Someone who times knows why you were created. Asterisk. This is what it looks like when a prayer meets its answer. So don't look back. Don't settle. Don't get distracted by the familiar. The enemy always sends a counterfeit right before the real thing. Don't confuse access with alignment. Wait for the one who times feels like clarity. Asterisk. Wait for the one who speaks your language, even when he's silent. Wait for the one who doesn't just times show up. Times he times stands up. Asterisk. He's coming. The tall man is not a fantasy. He's not a theory. He's not wishful thinking. He is already being dispatched. And when he arrives, you'll know it was always meant to be him. Because when God sends someone, He doesn't send them to entertain your loneliness. He sends them to walk with your legacy. This tall man isn't arriving to fix your past. He's coming to help you times build the future. Asterisk. He will not be threatened by your calling, because his calling times requires times your presence. He's not looking for a woman to lead from behind or keep in the background. He's coming to link arms with a warrior, a woman of fire, a woman who prays in silence and moves mountains in secret. That's why he's coming prepared. No guessing, no ghosting, no games. He's the man who times knows what he's looking for. Asterisk. And when he sees you, he'll recognize the answer to every prayer he's ever whispered into a dark room, because you've been praying for him too. Even when you didn't have the words, your spirit groaned for him. That ache in your chest, it was the echo of a promise waiting to be fulfilled. And this tall man, he's heard the same echo. He's felt that same hollow space. He's cried the same prayers, walked the same deserts, and made the same decision. I won't settle. I'll wait for what's real. So now, he's on his way. And he's tall not just in stature, but in responsibility, in vision, in wisdom, in character. This man isn't loud. He doesn't need to be. His presence times says more than his words ever could. Asterisk, he's the kind of man who makes you breathe easier just by being in the room. The kind who makes your spirit times exhale. Asterisk. And this time, you won't question whether you're too much, because to him, you'll finally feel like time's enough. Asterisk. You won't have to shrink. You won't have to explain the way your spirit moves. You won't have to downplay your discernment or dim your insight. He'll see it. He'll times respect times it. He'll times follow God, times alongside it. Chosen one, I'm telling you, this kind of love is times rare. Asterisk. It doesn't come by chance. It comes by preparation, by obedience, by faith. That doesn't make sense to anyone but you and heaven. That's why you've been in the waiting room so long. God was times, never times punishing you. He was times preserving times you. Because he knew, if he let you settle for anything less than times this asterisk, it would have broken your spirit. And he's invested too much in you for that. So here's the truth you need to hold close. This tall man will not complete you. He will times complement times the strength you already carry. He will protect the peace you've already paid for. He will walk into your life and not ask, how can I take? But, how can we build? Like this video, if something just stirred in you. If your soul is saying, asterisk, I know this is for me. Asterisk. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Not for followers, not for hype, but because this space, it's a gathering place for the ones who've waited with honor, for the chosen ones, for the ones who knew their value long before it was validated. Because here's the deeper truth. You didn't just wait. You times grew. Asterisk. You didn't just survive. You times evolved. Asterisk. And now, you don't need saving. You need times partnership. Asterisk. This tall man is being sent to partner with you, to hold the vision with you, to speak life into your dreams, not drain them, to remind you that love isn't supposed to times hurt, times it's supposed to times heal. Asterisk. So when he arrives, you'll know it won't be flashy, it won't be loud, it'll be quiet, still, certain, because that's how destiny moves. It doesn't knock down the door, it walks through it like it was always meant to be there. And that's what this is. It was always meant to be. It was always written. Written in the quiet moments you cried and no one saw. Written in the heartbreaks that almost made you forget who you were. Written in the silence where you stayed faithful even when you had every reason to walk away from faith itself. That tall man, he's not arriving randomly, he's arriving times on time. Asterisk. Because divine connections don't rush, they, times, reveal. Asterisk. And now, everything in your life is aligning because heaven has issued the release. But I need you to hear this. When he comes, don't sabotage the blessing with survival habits. Don't over-explain. Don't apologize for your intuition. Don't hide your strength behind politeness. Don't shrink your spirit to keep the peace. You've outgrown pretending. You've outgrown begging. You've outgrown trying to prove your worth to those who couldn't even recognize it. This man will not need you to times perform. Asterisk. He will simply need you to times be. Asterisk. Be the woman who chose healing over hardness. Be the woman who chose growth instead of revenge. Be the woman who believed times even when the world gave her every reason not to. Asterisk. Because he's not coming for the version of you that others tolerated. He's coming for the version of you that God times refined. Asterisk, so be her. Fully, freely, boldly. Comment 777. One last time. Not for ritual, not for trend, but because you're claiming the arrival of what's already yours in the spirit. It's not a number, it's a times signal. Asterisk. Heaven responds to the bold, to the ones who say times yes, times even before they see, to the ones who believe even when they're tired, to the ones who stand even when they're standing alone. But soon, you won't be standing alone anymore, because the tall man is being positioned right now. He's wrapping up the last loose ends of a season that's no longer serving him. He's making room. He's letting go. He's hearing God whisper, "She's ready." And when he sees you, he won't doubt. He won't run. He won't freeze. He'll move. And you'll move with him. Not because you're desperate to be loved, but because your time's finally aligned with someone who knows how to love you right. Asterisk. This love will feel like strategy, like wisdom, like rest. And don't expect everyone to understand it. Some will question why it happened so fast. Some will wonder where he came from. But that's because they didn't sit with you in the silence. They didn't fast with you in the dark. They didn't watch you pour oil on wounds no one even knew you had. So let them question. Your peace will be the answer. Because when this tall man enters your life, it won't just be a relationship, it'll be a times reveal. Asterisk. A reveal of every promise God whispered in the middle of your waiting. A reveal of why it never worked with anyone else. A reveal of how protected your heart really was, even when it felt forgotten. You weren't being punished. You were being times positioned. Asterisk. Now the blessing is catching up. This tall man is coming with eyes that see, hands that build, and a heart that beats in rhythm with your mission. And when he prays for you, it'll sound like he's heard your pain before, because in the spirit he has. He was forged in fire, just like you. And when fire meets fire, under the will of God, it doesn't burn. It, asterisk, illuminates. Asterisk. This is that kind of love. Not flames of destruction, but flames that times light the way. Asterisk. Get ready. Get ready, because once he arrives, everything changes. Not just your relationship status, not just your day-to-day routine, not just your Instagram bio. No. This shift is deeper. It's structural. It's generational. Because this tall man is bringing time's alignment, asterisk, not just affection. He's not coming to fit into your old life. He's coming to help times build the new one. Asterisk. You've carried this alone for so long. The vision, the weight, the warfare. But now, the reinforcements are here. And God didn't just send you help, He sent you time's covering. Asterisk, a man who doesn't get intimidated by your call, but time's called to protect times it. This is someone who's walked through his own wilderness, not to be rescued by you, but to be times ready for you. Asterisk, because the truth is, you weren't just praying for a tall man, you were praying for a man with time's tall faith. Asterisk, tall character, tall discernment, tall enough to see over temptation, tall enough to stand firm when the world shakes, tall enough to lift you when your own knees buckle from the weight of the calling you carry. And He's almost here. Right now, He's tying up loose ends, getting the final confirmations, having those quiet moments with God where the Spirit says, "It's time." And when it happens, you won't be confused. It will feel like prophecy returning home, like peace walking through the door, like breath times after holding it for years. Asterisk. This man won't flirt with your destiny. He'll times commit to it. Asterisk. He won't test your boundaries. He'll times honor, times them. He won't pressure you to be smaller. He'll challenge you to be times everything God called you to be. Asterisk. And let me say this, chosen one, you've times earned this alignment times with your obedience. Not because you were perfect, but because you were faithful when no one else saw. You stayed pure when temptation screamed. You chose healing when bitterness felt easier. You kept forgiving, kept praying, kept rising from things that tried to bury you. You were times loyal to the process. Asterisk. And now, God is rewarding your roots with fruit. So when this man comes, don't hide your oil. Don't downplay your anointing. Don't pretend your spirit is light when it's fire. This man is coming times because times of that fire. He was designed to walk with it, not control it, not contain it, but walk beside it, fuel it times, cover times it. Like this video, if your spirit has stayed locked in from the beginning, that's not coincidence. That's confirmation. And if you're new here, subscribe to join thousands of others walking in this same light. This is a sanctuary. This is your space. And if you haven't yet, comment 777 one final time. Because this isn't about algorithms. This is a prophetic signal, a release of agreement. And heaven responds to agreement. This love coming to you, it's holy. It won't beg for attention. It won't need performance. It'll come clothed in consistency. It'll sound like, asterisk, I got you. Asterisk. Not as a phrase, but as a times lifestyle. Asterisk. And for the first time, you'll be able to rest. Not because the journey ends, but because times you're no longer walking it alone. Asterisk. He's coming. You don't have to chase. You don't have to guess. You don't have to force. All you need to do is times be ready to receive. Asterisk. This is what you prayed for, and now it's knocking on your door. And when you open that door, it won't feel like fireworks. It'll feel like times finally. Asterisk. Finally. Someone who doesn't just times hear, times you. He times understands, times you. Finally. Someone who doesn't flinch at your depth, who doesn't question your dreams, who doesn't mislabel your discernment as drama, because he's not intimidated by your spirit. He's times inspired times by it. This tall man won't just show up with good intentions, he'll show up with times God's instructions. Asterisk. Because this isn't ordinary love. This is times kingdom partnership. Asterisk. This is restoration in human form. This is what happens when time's heaven writes the blueprint. Times and obedience lays the foundation. You've been the strong one for so long, the intercessor, the one who kept the faith when your heart was breaking, the one who poured into others when your own cup was empty, the one who kept going even when no one saw you bleeding. And now, someone is coming who sees times, all of you times, and chooses to stay, not just for the easy days, not just for the highlight reel, but for the time's whole journey. Asterisk. And that's how you'll know. This man won't disappear when your spirit is heavy. He won't run when life gets real. He won't deflect when vulnerability walks in. He'll times lean in. Asterisk. He'll say, let's pray. He'll say, I got this one. He'll say, you've carried so much, rest now, I'll carry you. Because real love, it doesn't just speak life. It times protects times it. You've never been too much. You were just waiting for a man with the capacity to times hold what you carry. Asterisk. And finally, he's on his way. Comment 777 if you're not just hoping but times expecting. Asterisk. Expecting restoration. Expecting partnership. Expecting answers that come wearing flesh and walking in purpose. This is not fantasy. This is not hype. This is time's prophetic fulfillment. Asterisk. And when he comes, you'll recognize him by the time's peace times in your body, the time's ease times in your spirit, the time's strength times in his silence, and the way his presence feels like something you've already prayed over because times you have. Asterisk. He's the kind of man who won't compete with your clarity, he'll match it. Who won't challenge your sensitivity, he'll times trust it. Asterisk. Who won't resist the pace of your purpose, he'll walk in step, stride for stride. Chosen one, do not settle for close enough. Do not entertain distractions with familiar voices and familiar chaos. The enemy always sends noise when heaven is preparing times the real thing. Asterisk. You're not looking for a vibe. You're waiting for times a vessel. Asterisk. And now, that vessel is being moved toward you by the same hand that has been guiding you this entire time. Don't stop believing now. Don't let the weariness of waiting silence your expectation. You didn't come this far to question the promise. You came this far to times receive it. Asterisk. Subscribe to stay in alignment with this movement, with the ones who walk in faith, not fear, with the ones who've been refined, not broken. And when he comes, you won't need a sign. Asterisk. He will be the sign. Asterisk. Let this be your final confirmation. Your heart is safe to hope again, because a tall man is on his way, and this time, he's times staying. Asterisk. And when he stays, he won't just stay in body. He'll stay in time's mind. Asterisk. In time's presence. Asterisk. In time's prayer. Asterisk. He won't retreat when life demands more. He won't disappear when emotions get heavy. He won't go silent when you need his voice the most, because he's not built for running. He's built for time's covenant. Asterisk. This is the man who's learned the weight of silence, who's spent nights wrestling with purpose, who's walked away from comfort just to stay in alignment. He knows what sacrifice tastes like. He knows what surrender costs, and that's why he's been chosen to walk beside times you. Asterisk. Not because you're easy, not because you're convenient, but because you're time's divine assignment. Asterisk. Let this echo in your spirit. You are not hard to love. You are not too intense. You are not too ambitious. You are not too deep. You are not times too much. Asterisk. You were just never meant to be handled by someone small. And now, God is sending someone with time's range asterisk. Someone tall enough in the spirit to reach into the places others ignored. Someone with arms strong enough to hold you in your fullness, and discernment deep enough to hear the things you don't say out loud. You won't have to tell him how to love you. He will come, already times studying you. Asterisk. You won't have to explain your silence. He'll know when to sit with it. You won't have to tone down your faith. He'll speak the same language. This won't be a relationship you times maintain asterisk. This will be a bond you times build asterisk. Side by side, day by day, glory to glory. Chosen one, you've mastered the art of solitude. You've built a life that doesn't rely on company to feel complete. But now, it's time to step into the next dimension of your purpose times with someone beside you. Asterisk. Not because you're lacking, but because two are stronger than one. Because when he falls, you'll lift him. And when you fall, he'll times cover you. Asterisk. This is that kind of partnership, where prayers bounce off each other like echoes, where intercession becomes intimacy, where calling becomes communion, and it's already in motion. So, don't second-guess the slow seasons. Don't resent the silence. Don't curse the isolation. That was the cocoon. Now comes the flight. Comment 777 one final time if your spirit has been nodding the entire time. If this isn't just a message, it's a times mirror, asterisk. You've times seen yourself times in every word. You've times heard God times whispering through every line. And let me say this plainly. Don't look for fireworks, look for time's fruit. Asterisk. This man will bear fruit. His words will match his walk. His prayers will match his posture. His peace will match your purpose. And if you feel weary from the weight, don't let go now. You're not being teased by heaven. You're being times targeted by heaven. Asterisk. Because this isn't just love. This is time's placement. Asterisk. The tall man is being placed, not in your fantasy, but in your time's reality. Asterisk. And when he enters, he won't just ask for a seat at the table. He'll bring lumber. He'll bring blueprints. He'll bring time's strategy. Asterisk. Because he's not coming to be entertained, he's coming to time's build. Asterisk. He is the partner your purpose has been waiting for. And you're the safe space his spirit has been seeking. So stay open, stay clear, stay expectant, because he's not just on his way anymore. He's time's almost here. Asterisk. And when he's finally standing in front of you, you won't be overwhelmed by adrenaline. You'll be grounded in recognition. You'll notice the way time doesn't speed up or slow down, it aligns. Everything in you will go quiet, not because there's nothing to say, but because your spirit has already spoken. There's no panic. There's no panic in the presence of something real. Just a knowing, a settled kind of knowing that says, this is safe, this is sacred, this is home. This man will have been through enough wilderness to recognize your water. He won't need your spotlight to shine. He'll bring his own sun. He's not here for rescue or repair. He's already done the work. That's why he's ready. Ready not just to meet you, but to hold the responsibility that comes with you. Because he understands that to love someone like you is to honor the altar you've become. And this time, no one's walking in with muddy feet. He will ask questions that don't just touch your history, they unlock your healing. He'll want to know about your dreams, not your damage. He'll ask about what ignites you, not what broke you. because he sees you in your times becoming asterisk, not in your before. He will speak to your future without needing to dissect your past. He'll recognize that what matters most is not what you've survived, but what you're stepping into. And his role is to walk with you there, not to carry you, not to chase you, but to times walk with you, times stride for stride, step for step, in the same rhythm heaven wrote before either of you ever knew each other's names. He'll listen without interrupting. He'll witness without needing to fix. And when you fall silent in the middle of a sentence, he won't rush you. He'll wait with you, because this man knows presence. He's mastered the sacred skill of staying. Not just staying in place, but staying times tuned in asterisk. When your energy shifts, he'll notice. When your light flickers, he'll shield it. And when you rise, he'll rise with you, not in awe, but in agreement. He won't bring chaos disguised as passion. He won't confuse chemistry with calling. He'll know the difference between a soul tie and a soul times assignment asterisk. He's been bound before, so now he knows what it means to be free. And he won't mistake your independence for indifference. He'll see your strength and still choose to serve. Not because you need him, but because he's called to do so. This tall man will be slow to promise and quick to prove. He won't rush intimacy, but he'll build trust without delay. Every boundary you've built will feel respected, not because he's afraid to cross them, but because he times understands why they're there. Asterisk. He'll ask permission with his posture, not just his words. And when you say yes to him, it won't feel like surrendering your safety. It'll feel like returning to something holy. You won't have to translate your intuition into explanations. You won't have to shrink your discernment just to keep the conversation light. He'll ask about your dreams and times, mean it asterisk. Not out of curiosity, but out of covenant. He'll pray with you, not for approval, but because he doesn't know how to lead without inviting God into the process. He won't weaponize scripture to silence your voice. He'll use it to times amplify times what God already placed in you. And when you cry, not from pain, but from the release of finally being seen, he won't flinch, he won't freeze. He'll hold space like it's what he was made for. You'll notice how steady he is when the world moves too fast. How he doesn't need to compete for attention because he already knows his worth. This isn't a man chasing validation. This is a man whose time's built on revelation, asterisk. And he'll see you not just as a woman, but as a sign, a confirmation, a fulfillment of something he's carried for a long time in silence. He'll tell you about the nights he asked God if love like this still existed. And you'll smile, not because you're flattered, but because you times asked the same thing. Asterisk. There will be no tug of war over leadership, because both of you will carry a shared sense of mission. He won't need to remind you that he's a man. His presence will speak before he ever does. Not with bravado or volume, but with integrity, with protection, with that quiet kind of strength that doesn't announce itself, but when you lean on it, you realize it's unshakable. He'll love without possession. He'll commit without pressure. He'll lead without controlling. And he will call out things in you that no one else has noticed. He'll recognize the times, details, asterisk. The way you breathe when you're anxious. The way your voice shifts when you're tired, but still pushing. The way your light dims when you're doubting yourself. And he'll remind you, not with flattery, but with fact, who you are, who you've always been, who you're becoming. This tall man will not just be tall in the spirit, he'll be rooted. His roots will run deep. You'll sense it in how he speaks, in how he listens, in how he pauses before responding. He's not reactive, he's times reflective. Asterisk. you'll realize that this isn't just a man who prays in moments of crisis, but one who's been in the secret place so long, his peace feels like a sanctuary. You'll feel covered just standing beside him. And you'll realize this is what it means to be times met asterisk, not pursued by a man who wants to win you, but times welcome times by a man who's been waiting for you. Not impressed by your presence times aligned times with it. Not infatuated by your anointing times, designed times to walk alongside it. And when you're quiet, when you say, I don't know, when you have no words for the ache in your chest, because your faith is tired, he will not quote verses to fix you. He will just stay. In the silence, in the fog, in the in-between. Because he's not afraid of valleys. He's walked through them too. This is not a savior. This is a steward. He will hold your purpose the way a priest holds sacred oil with reverence. He won't make you feel like a burden for being deep, emotional, spiritual, sensitive, discerning, or fierce. He won't just tolerate your strength, he'll times lean on it. Asterisk. And you'll find comfort in knowing you don't have to carry the whole world on your back anymore. Because now, it's not just your weight. It's times your shared mission, asterisk. He will know when to challenge you and when to simply times be there, asterisk. He'll discern the difference between your processing and your pleading. He'll give you space without making you feel distant. And when you need him to lead, he won't hesitate. But he also won't forget that time's real leadership includes listening. Asterisk. He won't need applause to do the right thing. He won't use charm to cover his inconsistency. He'll show up even when there's no stage times, especially times when there's no stage. Because he doesn't love the idea of you, he loves the times reality times of you. The tired you, the passionate you, the focused you, the you that doubts sometimes, the you that stays up too late thinking about purpose and justice and God and the ache of waiting, the real you. And that's why this love will times last. Asterisk. It will be resilient. It will be patient. It will grow without needing to be forced. He won't just invest in your peace, he'll times protect times it. He won't just admire your fire, he'll times add to it. Asterisk. And when storms come, and they times will times, he'll still be there, praying, anchoring, listening, not trying to fix what isn't broken, but willing to times fight for what's worth keeping. Asterisk. Because to him, this isn't just a relationship. It's times a divine alignment. Asterisk. And he's been preparing his whole life for this chapter. He is the man who knows how to stay in the room when the conversation gets hard. Who knows how to disagree without disrespecting. Who knows how to apologize without deflecting. Who knows how to take accountability without pride. He is the man who times covers with consistency times and builds with intention. The man who doesn't just know how to love, but knows how to times protect what he loves. Asterisk. And he's not coming because you chased him. He's coming because times you became ready without needing to beg. Asterisk. He's not coming to validate you. He's coming because times you validated yourself long before he got here. Asterisk. He's not coming to fill a gap. He's coming because times you built the foundation and now it's time to build upward. Asterisk. He's on his way, not to complete your story, but to write the next chapter, times, with you. Asterisk. And in that next chapter, things won't move the way they did before. There won't be that familiar tension where you're constantly anticipating the next letdown, waiting for the shift in tone, bracing for the moment he pulls away without explanation. Because this tall man moves differently. He won't weaponize distance. He won't use silence as punishment. He won't need to disappear to feel powerful. He's grown past that. He understands that intimacy is not about exposure. It's about presence. And he won't run from yours. He won't enter your life like an interruption. He'll move in rhythm with what God has already started. He won't need to rearrange your identity to make space for himself. Instead, he'll stand in awe of what you've built and ask, "How can I support this?" Not because he's weak, not because he's passive, but because he's secure enough to lead times without control. Asterisk. He'll be the kind of man who prepares before he speaks. You'll notice it in the pauses, in the way he waits before reacting, in the way he asks for your thoughts, not to challenge you, but to gather understanding. His ego won't be in the room. Trying to win, his spirit will be. Trying to times understand. Asterisk. He'll value your insight, not as an accessory to his path, but as divine strategy for the both of you. He knows that to walk with someone chosen, you must times listen with reverence. Asterisk. When your spirit is weary, he won't say, "You're too emotional." He'll ask, "What do you need from me right now?" Not as a man trying to fix, but as one committed to times fighting with you. Asterisk. When your vision gets cloudy, he won't question your faith. He'll fast beside you. When warfare hits, he won't wait to be asked, he'll already be interceding. Because he knows what it means to love a woman who carries weight in the spirit. He won't compete with your strength, he'll times depend on it. Asterisk. When others saw your power as a threat, he'll see it as a times covering. Asterisk. When others tried to suppress your voice, he'll create space for it to echo. He's not coming to lead over you, he's coming to lead times with you. Asterisk. And when leadership looks like silence, he won't panic, because he knows that sometimes the strongest thing a man can do is times hold the space and say nothing. Asterisk. You'll watch the way he honors women in his life, not just with politeness, but with principle. He's not kind because he wants something. He's kind because he times carries something. Asterisk. Something that can't be taught. Something that doesn't turn off when the room is empty. Something that remains when the spotlight is gone. He doesn't perform character, he embodies it. Because who he is when no one is watching will be times the same man you see every day. Asterisk. This man will understand your calling not just as a concept, but as a times responsibility. Asterisk. He'll recognize that you don't just speak words, you carry assignments. That your ideas aren't just goals, they're times downloads. Asterisk. That your intuition isn't mood, it's times ministry. Asterisk. And because of that, he won't just support you. He'll pray over you before you even realize you need covering. He'll be the one who wakes up early, not just to work, but to times war in the spirit times on your behalf. He'll know how to talk to God about you before he tries to correct you. He'll bring his concerns to the altar before bringing them to your door. He won't handle conflict with avoidance. He'll handle it with times humility.